So this is how the unit looks like, guys. And this is one of the cottages. So it's a 3-bedroom home, the initial home, and then now you have the extra cottages. This is what you added on top of your home, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
Okay.
this was not there when you were growing up. This is now the daughters. I'd call it the daughters' effort. The 3-bedroom was my parents' effort because that's what they left.
And then you pimped it. By the way, it has that rustic finish. And and then when you go to the cottages, they have this very modern outlook. Yeah,
and stylish.
Who did the styling?
My sister. She's into interior and interior designs, exterior and interior designs. She actually runs a furniture company called Furniture Zoo.
Yeah, it looks nice. I like the lamps, the old lamps as decorative. Naona birika. I can see so many things
that
there.
That birika used to serve as chai.
Oh, when you are young, yeah?
Yes, everything there is what we used when we were literally growing up. We didn't throw everything out.
Oh, that's awesome. That's very awesome. So, the house looks nice. So how is Airbnb business? Because me now biashara Airbnb kwaje, as we are marketing Airbnb. can you share, because you have how long have you done it?
From 2016, but Kwetu Home is the baby for COVID, because we started in 2018 August. Then 2020 happened.
Oh, okay, that's nice. So you have been in the Airbnb business from 2016?
Yes.
Meaning you have other units?
Yes, I have other units near the airport, near the SGR. It's called Cozy Rooms JKI and Hirwado Homes. Those are 3-bedroom apartments. I started with Cozy Rooms JKI in 2016, but the setup was different because back days it made sense when the initial Airbnb, the Airbnb plan was to have people in your house.
Okay.
You stay with the people in your house. Like if you have a 2-bedroom, you are in one bedroom and the other guests are in the other bedroom. You share the sitting room, you share the kitchen. That was the initial plan of Airbnb.
Yeah.
Later on, people, after COVID, now people started feeling weird because you don't know whether the person has COVID or not. So it now started growing out as an entire house option.
Okay. So you have said you have cozy homes. They are cozy homes?
Hirwado Homes.
Yeah.
And Kwetu Home. And then Wretch House.
Oh, Wretch House ni hapa Sagana town.
Yes. It also has a story behind.
I like, by the way, hiyo ulikuwa umeniguzia when we were discussing about this discussion. Ulikuwa umeniguzia that it was ni kaproti kako hapo.
Yeah, ilikuwa kaproti kabuda. Back in 1989.
Yeah, Wretch House. And guys, let me show you what Wretch House looks like today and what these ladies have done. You can continue.
Photo. So I'm sharing. If you check your WhatsApp, I've shared the one for Kwetu Home before and now. So I look for the one for Kwetu Home. I'm not sure if I still have the one for Wretch House. So I was saying, the initial purpose of Airbnb is sharing your home. So that's how I started it with Cozy Homes. Cozy Homes is a 3-bedroom house. Na nikianza nilikuwa nachukua nyumba moja na hizo nyumba nyingine 2 napea wageni. It was really nice. I liked it because I get to engage with a lot of foreigners, a lot of guests. And counting up to 2020, you can imagine how many nationalities they had hosted.
Yeah.
And counting. Like 92 nationalities were in my house at some point.
92?
Yes.
Wow,
and in total, we have, I think, 146 nationalities or nations. So I had done at Cozy Rooms JKI.
So biashara ya Airbnb in short kwako hiyo ndo busy, because now I really find people
that's my life. Like it's not my hustle, sika side hustle, diko full hustle.
Na si tupatie siri basi, because tulikuwa tunapiga hesabu jana even there is a video I posted yesterday where we were discussing the maths behind the Airbnb. Tunaona there is the cost of renting the house, and then the cost of maintaining the house, and then ukipiga hesabu rent za Nairobi and the amount of money you are getting plus the expenditure, unless you are hitting 50%, that is 15, especially tulikuwa tunapiga hesabu na Kilimani Kileleshwa, unless you are hitting 15%, that is half the month hauko kwa busy. So how is that on your side? Ama what are the figures? Not even, don't give us the exact figures, but if you can, we won't mind. Just how is it kibiashara iko aje as a pro in that?
So I think if you want to, like, if you want it to be a full, you have to be having more than one. Otherwise, with
Okay.
only one and you're paying rent out of it, it won't give you the, I don't know, the income that you desire.
Okay.
But with more than one and making sure one of the one is not under rental, like you are not the one paying rent, you are the
Okay.
owner.
Okay.
That way you cut your expenses
Okay.
into a 50%. Because if you realize, if you are the tenant and you're having an Airbnb, 50% of your income goes to the landlord.
Okay.
So meaning the income you're working with is 50% of your profit, which again, it's not very, very making sense, because out of that, you've not done the recurring expenses. We have the water bills, we have the electricity, we have the housekeepers, we have the items that you buy to
Yeah.
sustain, like soaps, the sugars, and
Mm-hmm.
all that. You've not paid even the Wi-Fi, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
if you have only one unit, it won't make the months. The months won't do the math. But if you have more than two, the math will start mathing. So I think
Oh,
that's the only secret. And the other one is take it as your business, like your full business, market it.
okay.
Meaning protect it in terms of what is your customer care like? What is your, how extra are you going? If
Yeah,
you
by
notice,
the on the marketing part, anyone mwenye ako on YouTube, ukiangalia hapo kwa description I've left the link of the units, the Kwetu homes in Sagana, so you can check that link there. Yeah, so continue. I just wanted to mention that.
yeah, so the marketing part of it is very important. And don't
Mm-hmm.
just market. Now, when they get to your property, what are you doing to for you to be given a 5-star review? Because
Okay.
5-star review doesn't come automatic. It's your effort that gives you the 5-star.
Okay.
So I think those are the two key points. And I would call it not really
Yeah,
a secret, but they're out there.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Nimepata
marketing, customers, and all that. Yeah.
nimepata lech house This is
Yeah.
the house unaniambia kalikuwa kaproti kamzee hapa
Yeah.
Sagana, mkakatengeneza. It's part of the now portfolio of Airbnb you have, yeah?
Yes. So this one is for every other. We have those people. Sometimes you are stranded. Hauna kakitu. It's more of a
Mm.
sleep and go, but a very clean, secure, and
Yeah,
Airbnb touch. Because what I
yeah,
do is, if you're only one person, you
yeah,
don't get the other rooms shared. I take
yeah.
one booking per night.
Oh, you don't mix, like you don't book like ukiwa na watu tano separate, you just si kama mkahawa ni
No, see,
one
come on. One booking at a time.
even Kwetu homes, it's one booking at a time.
Yeah, even Kwetu home. But now,
Wow.
of late, we are trying to do 2 bookings per night,
Okay.
which is either the cottage side or the house side.
Also, yeah.
You
That's
either
it
take
now
the
that,
house side or the
yeah,
cottage
okay.
side because there's a
Yeah, that
little
makes sense.
privacy.
Yeah. On the cottages there is a little privacy. So, what is the story with Rech House?
This was my dad's business, I would call it unit, because before it
Mm-hmm.
used to have salon, a barber shop, and
Mm-hmm.
people would pay my dad rent. All these were like spaces for saloons,
Mm-hmm.
kinyozi, tailor, and all
Mm-hmm.
that. And then nikaona tunabishana na tenant, pesa kidogo na bado tunasumbuana. So I thought, let me just renovate it and make it whatever, an Airbnb. And that's how it came. The ranch house, my dad gave it is just basically our names. W is for Winfred, R
Mm-hmm.
is for Rosebell, C for Carol, there's
Mm-hmm.
Emily, who is our interior person, and then there's
Okay. Also,
Hilda.
you have 5 ladies, eh? You have five
Yes,
ladies. Hamna kijana?
Hatuna kijana, si tuko adapt.
So basically these units ziko Sagana, acha hizo za Nairobi, it's it's like mlitafutia a way to repurpose your dad's units, yeah, if I'm not
Yes,
wrong. Yeah,
yes.
na by the way guys, nimetumia hizo picha za the old house, they don't look very nice, na mmejaribu sana for what you've done up to now. You ladies have done a nice job. Let me
It's
share
a
them
good
here.
effort, yeah. We
Eh?
actually look at it and we are like, what? Umetoka
Yeah,
mbali. You
ndio
can see
hiyo
that
umeiona.
that's how it used to look. Actually, that extension,
Yeah.
the windows on that front part,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't exist. It was open. Tulikuwa
Wow.
tunakaa hapo tukichungulia dada akitoka, he was a headmaster.
Yeah.
So tulikuwa tuna hang hapo kwenye dirisha ziko tukisema
Okay.
daddy. Yeah.
So that's how it looks before Mwichukue, and then
Yes.
now let me send them back to how it is today. I know I have it here.
So I think I would also like to give an idea to someone whose their shago is wasting.
Yeah.
Jaribu farming haijakuletea kakitu. This is a set, like I would call it stress free income.
That's how it is. Yeah. That's how unaona venye mmeitengeneza. That's the
Mm.
main house right now. I'm gonna try to look where you see how it looks like today. Yeah, this is a
Mm.
good job. Now the house itself, this is where now I say wow factor. The house itself as it is, sidhani, I know it's built well and it has all the facilities, but I don't think that ingeacho peke yake ingevutia watu kukuja. Eh?
Of course, no.
So the units easy the units themselves, the other units venye mlizijenga, those are the wow factors that you have, the cottages, yeah,
Yes.
and they are very beautiful. So by the way, they are very beautiful. Hizo ni supu sana. Guys, kuna mtu ameuliza, are these container homes? They look very nice. Sainrav says, are these container homes? They look very nice. So Sainrav, nope, these are not container homes. Winnie can tell us what kind of houses they are.
uh, Again, I said I'm not the one in charge of construction. My sister
Mhm.
Emily is the one. But what I know is we didn't use any stones on those buildings.
Okay.
So most of it is steel, and then in
Mhm.
between we've put, what do you call it?
Concrete.
Concrete. Yes.
Yeah.
And then we
So
shape it like that. So hakuna mawe
okay.
hapo.
So in short, this is they are called RC walls, eh? So that's why they look like that. So ni kama ile shrub mekanga juu, it's like the shrub you put on top of a house. It's the same thing that's on the walls, and that's why you can have the oval shape on the top or the small sided shape on this other house here. Yeah.
Yes, but I think I also need to highlight something.
Okay.
We don't allow random visits. Like you can't just
Okay.
pop at the gate and you expect us to open for you. That
Okay.
one will not happen. You either call us a day before and
Okay.
then we tell you whether you can come or not. The reason why, first of all, that's our home. So we
Okay.
don't allow anyone just to come. The other reason is there could be a guest already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they would feel not very private, they will not feel very well given the privacy they need. People are coming
Okay.
in to view when they are
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So we don't allow those
Yeah.
random coming in. So you have to either call 2 days in advance, you say which date you want to come, we book that section for you to come and see, and make sure you give us your ID, the photo, the back and the front. We want to see who is coming in our home. It's not a hotel, it's our home. So that's the
Okay.
policies
Okay.
that I think people miss out a lot, and they take us, they say we are not what we are, but we are what we are.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So another question, I can see there are tents here in Kwetu. When you produce the photos of Kwetu, I can see there are tents there. So what about the tents, and how many people capacity wise, full capacity can you hold on Kwetu? Because I can see the cottages, the total. Yeah.
We only have two tents for now, meaning
Mhm.
As you can see, it's a 5x6 tent.
Okay.
So it can take 2 people inside. But unfortunately they have to share because
Mm.
it doesn't have the option of separate inside. So it's two people inside at the cost of 3,700. So you can either
Okay.
take the option of the tents, or you can take
Okay.
the option of the house, or you can
Okay.
take the option of the cottage, or you can be a group of 18 and
Hmm.
have the entire place.
So it can get to 18 people. The whole premise can hold 18 people full capacity,
If they are sharing.
or if they are sharing,
Yeah, if
because
they are
you
not
have.
sharing, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Continue.
So if they are not sharing, let's say that tent sleeps one person, there are two tents,
Mm-hmm.
there are two cottages, those are two, those are four, and the
Yeah.
house has a 3 bedroom. So that will be 9 people if they are not sharing. But
Okay.
if they are sharing, that we can multiply by 2 would be 18.
So, guys, anyone with an extra question, and please, umenitumia majina ya hizo zingine?
Oh, let me
Yeah,
send.
yeah, send me. I think talking to someone who is doing something, and the fact that your idea, especially for Kwetu Homes and Rech House, it's to the purpose and to find better ways to make money from, let's call them dead investments, or zile zinakuanga zile investments like farming, like in your case hapo kwenyu kulima ingekuwa shida sana, yeah.
Yes.
Speaking the truth, but the fact that you found something to add value to that, that's quite impressive. Guys, any person with any question? Yeah, before I ask more questions. Any person with a question, I always try to give people the opportunity to ask questions before we continue. So if there is no question, I will just ask. So I see that you are in booking.com, Airbnb, and another site. How do you manage all that? Do you get double bookings ama vitu kama hizo, ama what really happens in such a case? Kama sasa nimeingia Airbnb, I can see that one of your uko na date already booked. So will it reflect to booking.com, or what happens in such cases, and how do you manage all that? Yeah.
All those websites, or rather all
Mm-hmm.
those platforms, we call them online travel agents.
Mm-hmm.
They give you the option of doing what is it called?
Syncing.
Yes, yes. So you join all your calendars. That one calendar is booked, it closes all the others.
Oh, that makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes sense. So at least they work in
yes,
unison zote pamoja.
yes, yes.
Okay. And which is the best platform, Kikazi? Ama ni
Airbnb.
zote? Airbnb is the best. Okay.
Yes, and the reason is why
Mm-hmm.
um, I understand where people come from. People want to see before they pay, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. But as a host, you can imagine how many people will you open for per day to come
Yeah.
and see, and you will miss out the person who really wants to stay.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
Airbnb is that platform of people paying on the
mhm.
platform, full payment. That way, when the booking is done on Airbnb, that is a closed deal. Mgeni
Okay.
ashalipa, hataki kuona, ashalipa na nakuja. You start preparing for that guest, which makes it easy. Because again, you may start preparing for that guest, alafu afike hapo, initial yake, or rather the purpose of the visit, ilikuwa tu kuona. Deep in
Yeah.
his heart or her heart, anajua halali. You
Yeah.
have gone all the way out. You can use, for us, we buy for you breakfast items, unajipikia.
Yeah.
We have incurred the loss. Tumekununulia mikate, fruits, juices, tumekuwekea hapo. Only for you to come and say, let me go and think about it, I'll call you. Mtu akisema hivyo ujue huyo ameenda. Yet
Yeah. I
wewe
mean,
umefanya hizo expenses, nani atakulipia hizo expenses?
yeah, true, true,
Yeah, so
true.
that's why I prefer Airbnb, because once the person makes everything there, hiyo unajua hiyo ni sure deal. Now you can do way out. You can go all way out for that client.
So in matatu, as a matatu person, the biggest challenge kwa the cash flow. You get that? And there are so many challenges in that industry, and each industry is different. So what is your biggest challenge that you face as a, because now you have B&Bs in Nairobi, B&Bs in Geshagi. What's the biggest challenge that you see, especially running all those units?
I think my biggest is those people who want to view fast. That's my biggest challenge. And in my heart, I pose this
Mm.
question. Miano, when you want to go to Masai Mara,
Mm.
do you go see first and then you come now you pay?
Okay, no. You go and yeah, you go.
You pay, you go and you come back. If the
Yeah,
experience is bad, you review them.
yeah.
Unajua? And I
Yeah.
think the main thing that is happening is most of the clients, they don't take the initiative to do due diligence on where they are going.
Okay.
Unapata mtu ameambiwa niko na space, analipa. Umelipa call, hujapata hiyo place unalipa, umeitafuta kwa internet,
Mhm.
umeipata, do you have the
Yeah.
contact of that place that you are going? Make a follow up and see whether the information you have is the same information you are getting from whoever is booking you in.
Yeah.
So me, I tell all my clients, nawaambia hivi, mimi ni mtu sure deal. What you get is what you see. What you pay for is what you receive. The value, it doesn't go down. For anything, it goes up. So that's my,
Okay.
my challenge because many people want to see fast and it
Mm-hmm.
becomes a challenge. I'll give you an example. Today
Okay.
probably nimepata watu wawili wanasema wacha nikuje nione
Mm-hmm.
nitakulipa. Among the two, mmoja ni wa kukaa, mmoja ako sure atachukua hiyo space. So tuseme huyo mwenye wa kukaa amekuja, ameona, ameingia. Huyu mwenye alisema nikuje, atakuja wapi na ishaingiwa? Of course atanikasirikia. Nilikwambia uniwekee nikuje nione, mbona umeuza?
Yeah.
You see? But
Yeah.
siwezi kuwekea. Kuna mwenye anataka. So mimi nitakuwekea ukuje uone heri kuna mtu mwingine who wants to come and stay. So I
Yeah.
think that's my main challenge to those people who just want to see the inconvenience, the ones who really want to take the place, the initial need is there, is to stay and enjoy the service.
So what about direct bookings? Because kama kama kuna watu who create website zao. So how do you have sorry. Kitu.
Sorry. Kunywa kamaji.
Yeah, hata niko nayo hapa. Do you have a nini?
Yeah, I have a website, and my website carries four of my properties. It's
Oh,
called.
okay.
I think I'll type it for you so that you can share with
Yeah. Type it for me.
the people.
That's nice. You can also book through the website.
Yes, but you
That
can't book and pay. What you can do is you go there and you get my
mhm.
number, and then now you can directly contact me and give you
Okay.
the process of booking.
Okay. That's nice. So
Because
another question. Okay, continue.
for me, before you give me the payment, I'll send you the videos. I'll let you ask all the questions you want. Once you are satisfied, and I always say, once you are satisfied with what I've shared, with what I've shown you,
Mm-hmm.
now you can proceed and pay.
Okay,
Yes.
that's nice. One thing that nitakupatia ni your units are always clean. I have had the chance to go there twice, and each time they were definitely very clean units. And the maintenance of the, by the way, guys, what you see here is even the cleanliness is maintained. Hata hii hapa Lake House, which is it's kind of stop shop, watu wa travelers wenye
Sleep
wanakuja
and go.
Sagana, they sleep and go, they always clean units. So how do you manage and you have so many units, especially juu kuna moja najua very beautiful Airbnbs but uchafu yenye imejaa, sita mention jina. So how do you manage hiyo maintenance and cleanness? Because hiyo ni challenge by the guys that's the biggest challenge, especially old B&Bs. Na hii yenyu you are in this business for 8 years, 9 years now, and the Kwetu Homes has been in business for more than 5 years. How do you maintain that level of cleanliness, and what is your system to go about it?
Like I mentioned, I have a diploma in hotel industry.
Okay.
And in the hotel industry, you train on all the departments. I can cook, only that the sufurias in the hotel industry are way bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can also do the reception part. I can, like, you are trained everything. So what I do with my housekeepers, I train them, I vet them, and I have, where I'm able, I supervise. Before a
Okay.
client comes, I make sure it is what I need it to be.
By the way,
So all my housekeepers are trained.
naiona mpaka kuna venye mna set pillowcase nini mambo mingi.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah,
yes,
there is a consistency that I loved
yes,
about.
yes.
So mambo tuingie mambo ya pesa. Do you have seasonal pricing ama ni fixed pricing, or how do you, because BNB unaonanga kuna weekdays na weekends prices, holiday prices inapanda, so or how do you go about it on your end?
Uh, for me, the units in Nairobi, I don't put any seasonal rates
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like Nairobi is not like Mombasa. Mombasa is
Yeah.
where you have really different rates. Kuna off na unajua, kuna good seasons and kuna zile seasons zimetulia. But for
Yeah.
Mombasa, I feel like ziko tu. I mean, Nairobi, ziko tu. Because most people during those good seasons, they move to Mombasa. Sisi tunaachwa tu ni zile tu watu wa restaurants ndio wana benefit because people now come to the restaurants during those moments. So for my Nairobi units, I don't put seasonal rates. But
Okay.
for the Sagana, especially Kwetu Home, December utapata rate yake ni tofauti na August a little bit. But the other days, the only difference is Friday, Saturday and Sunday, the rates are slightly higher because those are like our peak days, the weekends, because people want to get away during either Friday, Saturday, they go back on Sunday.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
nice. That's
yeah.
nice. I always like now on that,
Mm-hmm.
because hapa majority of people who watch me ni watu wako diaspora, and people who also want to invest in this and also experience. And some of them, especially the diaspora people, may want to experience this. And I can see there is a guy called CS Adventures who does this adventure stuff. So can you try to tell us, because nasikianga kama May, June is the worst month, December is one of the best months. How is it, and what's the difference between units in Nairobi peak months and units in Sagana, especially occupation rates, vitu kama hizo?
For Sagana, most of the people who travel, like I said, it's either they have come for a conference during the week, or they have
Okay.
come as a getaway for a short period, which is Saturday, Friday, or
Yeah.
Sunday, or there's a holiday, a long holiday within the week. So
Okay.
those are advantageous days. And with the pricing, we take advantage of that, but we don't put such an exaggerated price.
Okay.
Probably like a difference of $3, $4, or $5 at most, depending on the occasion and depending on what holiday is that. But December, from the 12th all the way
Okay.
to the 3rd of January, that's when for us, for the Sagana units, and when I mean Sagana unit, I only mean Kwetu Home Sagana.
Okay.
The ranch house stays standard the entire year. The rates would not probably change. Sometimes it goes down, but not high.
Okay.
Then
Okay,
for the
makes sense.
Nairobi season,
Mhm.
I'm talking with my units. Also, I think there's some point that people need to know. When you're starting an Airbnb, you have first to consider who do you want to be your clients. For me, due to the location of the SGR and JKIA, so
Okay.
most of my clients are either 2 nights, 3 nights, or even short stays on their way on the transit moment. Either they are going to SGR, either they are going to the Jomo Kenyatta Airport, they're on
Okay.
transit. So you'll find my rates will not really be that, ati kuna off peak, kuna season low, kwangu hakuna. Just because of the position I am, the location I am. But watu wa Kilimani, when wanaenda Kilimani, most of them are holiday. We'd call them Mombasa Ndogo, the
Okay.
Kilimani, the Westlands, the Muthaiga, the Karen. That's where the holiday for Nairobi is. So you
Okay.
get them, they have the low season and they have the high season.
No, that's nice. That's nice.
And those people who are
Yeah,
near
continue.
like the UN, those are the people, expatriates who come to work for a longer time.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, so I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, because nilifanya video nikasema the units the Nairobi units are very different. Nao nimejua hata za Nairobi pia kuna zenye zimekaribia airport na za Kilimani, which is very different. So at the end
Yes,
of the day, before you start doing this, you have to identify your target market. Yeah?
yes,
Because
yes.
yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. And then at least na pricing Nairobi, how is it compared to Sagana?
The Nairobi is more higher, but I also say the Sagana is more higher because we say where there's a demand,
Mm-hmm.
the supply is.
Yeah.
There's that business word, the supply and the demand. The
Yeah.
supply in Sagana is very kidogo, like we are not many,
Yeah.
but the demand is many. There's a lot of demand, so we
Yeah.
have to take advantage of that, and we can't just have a normal rate.
Yeah.
But in
Wow.
Mombasa, the supply is a lot, and the demand is a lot, so the
Yeah.
prices would be at par.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, sawa. Wow. So hii ni biashara mnasikia ni vizuri. Would you recommend for people to do it, and would you take consultations, because there are people who want to start this business Na mimi naambia mimi biashara ya BNB, it's hearsay, but this is someone who has done it, who is doing it, who is successful. They know how. Guys, I wish they know how to create the best outcome. And 9 years of experience is not a short time. Yeah, years of experience is not a short time. So would you mind giving people some consultation ama vitu kama hizo?
I actually train people. So, like I
Okay.
said, my profession is whole related to Airbnb. So I train people on how to start Airbnb, how to list it, how to market it, and how to, to carry it on. I
Okay.
also do some small tours. I don't have a tour company, so I that one I do on commission. So I give
Okay.
people who are doing that, then they give me commission. I also act as a plug. What do I mean by a plug? If someone wants a bigger house, let's say a 4 bedroom in Nairobi, I don't have a 4 bedroom, I have a 3 bedroom. So I will connect you to someone who has a 4 bedroom. So I also act as a plug, as a consultant, and also as a tour plug as well.
And if mtu ako na shamba peke yake, can you help them come up with a good idea? Because as I said, your units are quite unique. Hiyo ni kitu moja, guys. You can tell this hii nyumba, by the way, when I put it on X, the time I put it on X, it went viral because they are quite unique units, and it's something like mtu anashindwa, are they nini, are they doing, are they containers zimejengwa aje? The color scheme is nice. Ukiangalia the interior looks awesome, especially the colors. So would you help someone from start ama to enable them see their vision, do a market research of the area, things like that? Can you help people with that?
No. So where I come in is when you already have the property set. That's where
Ooh.
I come in. But my sister comes in, like I said, that's her
Oh,
profession.
okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
her profession.
Mnafaa kuungana sasa, ifanye sasa as one unit, ili unasema yes I can come in, unatupa mtu kwa sistako.
So me, I come in when you're already set, and then now we start the journey. But from the
Yeah.
ground, that I may not be able to help you.
Any other thing ya hii biashara unafaa pengine nimesahau kuuliza, unaweza share, and then now we go to other things now in another part.
Basically, I think what I said is when you're starting your Airbnb, you have to consider what is your clientele. Who do you want to be your clientele? There are those people who want family oriented. So if you want family oriented, you have to have like a 2 bedroom going up. If you
Okay.
want now those people who are working, you have to be near, institutes that are for such people, like the NGOs, the UN, all that. So you have to karibia kina Westlands, Gigiri, those
Yeah.
parts. So you have first to consider what's your client like. Who do you want to be your client? Is it the long stays or is it the short stays? And every type of clientele has their own disadvantage and advantage. So I think that is one point. So once you do that, now set up your Airbnb, and like Miano said, you have to put the wow factor. Miano, I don't know whether you've shown them my cozy one, the one at the airport. I have 2 units, and one of the
Okay.
units, I feel like they both stand out
Okay.
because they have a different theme. One is on the fifth floor, and for sure before one goes to the fifth floor, amejiuliza maswali kama 100. Nani anapanda hizo stairs?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nani anapanda hizo stairs? But what awaits you is good. It has a pool table. It has some games. It's a cozy place, just like the name says. So I've
Okay.
put that wow factor. At least ndio ibalance hiyo kuchoka kwa stairs and what you get on the ground. And I feel
Okay.
like that's one of my selling for that unit.
Hiyo place yako Kwetu, you have solar, and I saw that the solar
Yes.
system, how has imekupatia aje? Because there are people who are interested in solar, including myself.
Hmm.
And how has solar been? And I know that you can share the costs. You unaweza to share.
I think
How?
it was
Mhm.
about 250,
Okay.
250, all inclusive, the
Okay.
installation, the purchase, and everything. Because one thing it doesn't do the water heating.
Okay.
But everything else it does. It does the fridge, it does the TVs, it does
I saw a
the
washing machine
sockets,
also.
the sockets. It doesn't do the washing machine, but what else does it do? It doesn't do the microwaves, the cooker.
Okay.
Yeah, but it has really helped us a lot. I remember the reason why we had to do it is because our last before solar, the last client really suffered when Kenya Power decided to kucheza kama wao. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't have power for 1 week. You can imagine as a client, hauna power for 1 week.
No.
Na unalipia. It doesn't go well, my friend. So we had to do that. We had to do that, and it has saved us a lot. Kenya Power decide to pay steamer for 1 week, as we are good. The clients, they have internet, they can watch TV, they can still do Netflix, they can
Yeah.
also, charge their phones. They don't feel that on. The only difference that gives is, the only thing that they lack is they have to shower with cold water until Kenya Power comes back. But
Okay.
everything else it takes. And I feel for every Airbnb in the village, farmstead, they need to have that.
Hey, I can see those units are nice. The cozy ones, umeziita cozy ones, eh? Cozy. Yeah,
Because
like this one is hii ni yenyewe. These are nice.
this is
Can see nice.
Hirwado. That's Hirwado Homes. It's also
Here.
near the airport. And this is the work of my sister. She does interior.
Wow. Yeah. Oh,
So if you are building a house, you're in the diaspora, you're building a house, you want
yeah.
something poshy, you want something looking elegant, talk to my sister. I think I had given Miano the contacts.
Nilijaribu kumwambia ni kama hatukuelewana. Nimeona I tried to invite her to this live.
Yeah,
I guess she saw the message read.
yeah.
She
Today
replied read. So
she's not available today.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
we
this is
can
the
meet
one on
there.
the fifth floor, but the interior is mine. An upcoming interior designer, that's me.
Oh, he.
Yeah, hii ni mimi
Oh,
nimejifanyia interior.
okay, that looks nice. At least unapatiana board game. So activities. So Njaru ni wow factor, activities, convenience, location.
Yes, and
Wow.
pricing.
And pricing now. And now ujue kucheza kama wewe.
Mm,
Wow. This I guess we can say that you are doing a good job. Eh? It's nice. It's nice at least kuona something different and running. So Cozy Homes, website yako huku nitumia tuiweke hapo
I sent it to you. Let me resend it again.
on message ama WhatsApp?
On WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp. Kwani sioni.
I've resent
Cozy room. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think one thing I also want to highlight, Miano,
Yeah.
when you're starting an Airbnb, choose a very unique name. Choose a very unique name. I'm having a very big challenge with the word cozy rooms. Kila mtu sasa anajiita cozy homes, cozy island, still cozy. So since I have a website and most people don't, unapata when they book on Airbnb, there's a way Airbnb syncs with Google.
Okay.
So unapata ni contact zangu wanapata. Kozi yangu iko na jina Kozi na kozi yangu iko na website iko kwa Google. So mtu ananipigia ati nimebook, I've booked something in Kayole, I've booked something in Kilimani, give me the directions. Then just because of the word cozy. So try and see something unique when you're coming up with an Airbnb. Because now I'm having that big trouble and I can't change it because I've already grown it as a brand.
Yes, cozy. Yeah, makes
So that's
sense.
why I came up with Hirwado. Hirwado is quite unique. Hautapata mtu anajiita Hirwado. Yeah, so I think that is one of the things to consider when you're coming up with an Airbnb. Choose a unique name that you can grow and see its future. Because again, you don't want to come up with a name that is restricting you to the location that your current number one is. Because you never know, you can have an Airbnb number 2, number 3, number 4. So give a name that can merge them all together when you grow.
Okay, guys, any more questions for Winnie? Because nataka kumwachilia. And that's our website, www.cozyroom.jki.com. You can find all the information there, or you can go search for Cozy Hirwada, if it's JKIA, ama kama unataka vacation home, come to Kwetu Sagana. By the way, there is river activities, there is hizo actually nimefanya ka research kidogo, kuna hizo bonfire, very nice environment. Hey, you're all welcome bana. So any question for Winnie before she leaves? Any question for Winnie?
You can also highlight my sister's website. So let me share.
Okay.
All those who have questions about the interior and all that should be the best person to talk to.
So this is the website for the sister who has done all the interiors. Yeah, you can also check them there. Thank you, Winnie. Much appreciated. Alex amesema, thanks for showing up, by the way. Very few Kenyans are open about sharing what a certain industry looks like on ground. Thank you. Yeah, she is experienced. If you want to consult her, hata acha niandike namba yako hapa. For people, you know, there are people who kabla ende kwa website angalie anaboeka. It's 0725
0720
okay
832
832
201.
201. That's her number. She is Winnie. I'm Willy, she is Winnie. So, and she's my neighbor. Winnie neighbor yangu huko tu Sagana, and she has very nice units and she's a lady with good heart. So enda mwongee, you can talk to her, ask any question about Airbnb. That's not my field. For those who are here right now, that's her website, cozyroomjkia.com. For the sisters website ya kufanya hizo interior design, furniturezood.co.ke, and her number is 0720832201.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miano, for having me, and thank you.